Okay, hello everybody. I know I'm on stage now. Uh, I am trying to get other. There we go. Should be perfect. And then Mango. There you go. Now all three of us are up here.
I'm all right. I think I'm here. Can you hear me okay here?
We can hear you perfectly. So
Excellent.
you should be able to share your screen or do whatever you'd like. Um, I'm gonna unmute. Okay. Um, sorry, I'm gonna mute myself, and you should be free to take the stage and do what you want to do.
All right. All right. Well, hey everybody. My name is Mango. It's 2:30 in the morning here in Korea. And I've had a couple beers. So I hope you pardon me if this is not the most eloquent presentation, but I'm happy to be here and really excited to share some of the ideas that we've got for our burgeoning network here on Createbase and on Near in general. I'm the co-founder of a broadcast platform called DNN. We are currently operating our first season of our first show, which is called Hanover Fist. It's a satirical news broadcast, and our big first checkpoint is to raise enough money to build an artist grant. And we want to do so not by selling NFTs that are products, but by producing free content that offer different tiers of engagement with the process. So in a similar way to Patreon, where the audience members can support you because they want to support you, not because you're selling them something. We'll offer with our NFTs different ways to become a part of our creative process. So becoming a character on our show, joining our Telegram group and our DAO, up to creating new shows for the platform. And the idea is that for the first contest, we'll have like a pilot show contest, and to win the first grant, you produce a pilot show, and if you win, you get this grant, and you get to make 10 episodes of that show on our network. And now we have 3 artists instead of 2. And over the course of building up an audience that supports us in this engaging sort of way, staking all of the revenue into the Near network, and with the income generated from those stakes to develop over time a UBI for all the artists that are participating, with the goal being to separate the creation of art from the needing to commodify the art to survive as an artist. And whether that's in a centralized sort of all of the DNN money is in one place, or whether we just give a UBI amount of money and encourage artists to stake it themselves, is kind of where we're wrestling at the moment. But the idea is to build up a network of 12 artists on this first channel to make satirical, absurdist comedy, and to have generated enough income from the gift economy to support them. And then after we've done that with 12 artists, to move on to other channels and develop a massive broadcast network on the Near ecosystem. The goal is like 144 artists, 12 channels, 12 artists that can all make art or not make art. And what we've been wrestling with this week is like, making it clear that it's not a salary. Like, you don't need to be a part of our channel making art for us. It's not like, if you stop making videos for DNN that your UBI goes away, because that's a salary, not a UBI. And so, we want to make sure that we're choosing the right people for our platform to, encourage them to want to continue making art like this in this way. But if they decide, hey, I'm not really interested in making absurd comedies anymore, I want to go do this other thing, that the UBI goes with them, and that they're still supported by having been a part of this process. And anyway, that's maybe I'm rambling. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's a little late here, but that's our current vision. I've also submitted a new proposal for the Sleeve Donard Charity Gallery, which is a gallery of sort of worship art to a made-up deity called Shliv Donard, who is an eternal being of excellence, with the total purpose of this being to create artwork centered around the mythology of this invented god and raise money for a rotating variety of charities, and to leave it open as a permanent place for any artists to submit new art about this deity, and any art that's contributed will give 100% of the proceeds of sales to this charity initiative. So about leveraging the Near blockchain towards the direction of decommodification and gifting and giving back and all that good stuff. Anyway, that's my time. I'm going to sign off now.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mango, for explaining more about DNN and also the charity project, the art gallery you're working on as well. If anyone has any questions, please throw them in the chat, either for us, like, if Mango, if you have any questions as well, we're here on stage.
Let's see. I do have a couple. It's hard to remember what those questions are while on stage, so maybe I'll let other people present.
Those in the chat as well. Those
no problem. You can come back to us with questions later.
Always. Sure. So pop you off here. Wonderful. So we are still on stage here. If anyone else would like to present, True. Well, if you'd like to explain more about specifically what you're working on with Near, that would still be great, Vandal. There might be some new people here. Oh, there you go. Nemo has a hand raised.
Hey, I mean, it's kind of also a new project. So I was telling a group of us, I think Sparrow and Lenara, that Ilya, who's a co-founder of Near, he hacked together a really simple kind of like community tipping or grant DAO. And I wanted to just get feedback on that. The idea is anyone who has like a little bit of Near tokens or knows someone who has some Near token, you nominate yourself or someone else to get a tip. And then there's like a council or committee of people. So it could be most active community members, whatever. And then this would kind of disintermediate Near even more. So there's like a bigger DAO, and then this DAO gets money from that DAO and gives to individuals. Just wanted to see if this resonates with people. What mechanisms you think make sense, just to make everything much more streamlined, fewer application forms, and all of that.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty cool project. So let's say you can nominate someone else or yourself, and then people. And do you just the tips just keep coming, or do you have like a goal on your tips?
It's a one-off. For now, I think it's supposed to be one-off.
So it's kind of like some kind of like crowdfunding in a way, that you have goals to reach with the tips, or just whatever comes you accept?
I think it's predefined in the current system. So it's like the person who's, let's say, Lenara, you think Sparrow did some cool stuff, and on her behalf you want to say, I think Sparrow should get like, I don't know, a gazillion Near tokens, or our community token. I hope, by the way, we create like a Createbase token at some point.
Right.
And then you just nominate her, and then if
so when you nominate, you already put like a number on it. So
I think that's the current logic. Yeah, there's a Telegram group for anyone who wants to join. I'll drop the link here.
Yeah,
in the chat.
definitely. Yes, please share the link so we can get more information there. Seems like a very cool project, almost like Gitcoin grant-like, but without the quadratic funding.
Yeah. I was thinking how to compare to what, but maybe this new thing, like it's not matching exactly something that exists, which is even nicer.
I think the closest thing that exists is like Polkadot. They have a tipping system that there, I think the amount is like the average or something of like normalized. But here the idea is more like, instead of us having like one grant giving DAO, we have a lot of tiny guilds and DAOs that they have their own committee or council, and like it's all decided by the community. I think that's unique about Near, that like we're not trying to build one large community, we're trying to seed many communities instead of just one.
Yeah, I think that's a great proposal. I'm excited to see what it flourishes into, for sure.
Yeah, let me, I can share the invite link, and just like, the more you put pressure on the people in that group, the earlier it's going to ship. Just go DDoS the group. Yo, when thou.
Go.
And right now, as far as I know, we need a front-end dev. So the back-end code exists.
Okay. So if people are in this chat and they are front-end devs or know of front-end devs, there you go. Always work to be done in the Near ecosystem, it looks like.
Yeah, and it's actually already on testnet. So I think if you go on testnet, you can receive a bunch of fake test tokens. Yeah.
Very cool. So looks like we're getting some more DAOs and grant initiatives coming through on Near. Anyone else have anything to present as well? I know Vandal's trying his hardest to not have to present today. I might just throw you up on stage regardless, Vandal. I'm not sure you have a choice. I want to hear what you're working on.
Hey.
There you go. How you doing? It could be quick, but just a little quick, what you're excited about for Near, what you're working on for Near, what your project looks like. People that know.
Sure. Okay. So, like I had mentioned on the other stage or wherever we were, and the other table, the project that I'm really, bullish on, I guess, is a way to kind of facilitate, real world kind of interaction inside the metaverse, and through a project that generates the creation of different types of NFTs. So for example, whether that's music or video or art, and this sort of ties into something that I'd been doing in Malaysia since 2008, which is an event series called Think You Got Skills, which is the short version is TYGS. And that TYGS had kind of moved into the digital realm, I think, I guess at the end of 2018, by using like Instagram as sort of a means to get people active, instead of having to show up at the event, sign up, fill a form, and then go through the process of qualification rounds and these sort of things, so that we could keep our live events strictly to like a finale type of thing. But, given the fact that now we're in this current global situation, and, now it makes sense to kind of expand this experience globally and virtually, that I felt like this was a great opportunity to build this out on the new sort of Near NFT mint-based ecosystem, because it is about, onboarding people and from the community and creatives who are, creating cool stuff, and then doing NFTs out of that and building out a marketplace around it, as well as being able to kind of set up all of the other artists, and whether they're musicians, visual artists, video makers, whatever, right? With their own stores. This is kind of what I've been building out now with DAO Records and Mintbase, is, onboarding artists, either facilitating their first NFT releases with us, or setting them up with their own stores. So it's I've kind of been leaving it open for the artists, depending on, what level they're at. And I think the idea is thus in the future is so that everybody can then have their own stores, understand how to do things, onboard their own communities, and kind of be powered through this whole ecosystem, through the creation of also a social token platform, which TYGS would be the test run, offering participants, the chance to win TYGS token or earn it by, being part of the team, and just kind of experimenting a bit more with the social token side, but using Near. I think that kind of is a good, kind of sums it up there.
Awesome. So I'm curious, you're talking about, I know you do a lot of onboarding work like locally and just like with a lot of musicians, especially. I guess from a Createbase facilitator standpoint, is there anything specifically that like, not only that we can do, but like that Createbase, Mintbase, Near from that aspect can do to help onboard a lot of these artists? Because you're with them every day, kind of interacting. Is there like one big pain point that's really kind of inhibiting them potentially?
I found, okay, so there are two things one thing that I've been doing mostly, and it's something that I'd like to do, which I think can tie into what you just mentioned. The first thing is talking to people individually, which I've been doing. Especially recently, there seems to be a lot of interest in music NFTs and NFTs in general. So I've had like a lot of people reaching out, and in the midst of everything else that I'm up to, sometimes it's challenging to speak with everybody for an hour individually. So I thought that along with that, we could do like a weekly sort of AMA open call, like on Zoom or wherever, that people can just kind of hop in and just ask questions. And it's kind of like a NFT 101 or like onboarding 101, just to kind of get people kind of familiar and bring them on board like in groups as opposed to individuals one by one. So I think this is something that potentially we can do via Createbase. I'm also speaking with, it's a bit overdue because we had a bit of a scheduling conflict, but with Nate and Carol about, some other stuff. I don't know if I can mention it, but yes, like, things of working a bit closer together with all the projects. And I think that this is, okay. This is mention it. Nate, Carol. Okay, cool.
Hey, I'm just,
all right, so
watching, yeah, there you go. Nate says yeah.
Okay, so I think that creating a music division for Near and Createbase, I don't know how it's going to look yet because we haven't quite figured it out, but to do something similar to what you, Chloe, and Lenara are doing, but specifically for musicians. And to facilitate that onboarding practice. That's something that we want to do. And I think this is a good opportunity to it's a great time to do it. So yeah, there it is.
Awesome. Well, I through that process, anything we can do to help, if we have this Airmeet here already. So I guess if you we were already talking about it, like if you wanted to have a table at these Airmeets to get people involved, or they can be learning from, get connected with other artists for their album covers or whatever else. Artists can get connected with musicians, kind of all in the same group. I think that can kind of help.
Audio and musicians table.
Audio
for next
musicians
one, we'll have it.
All these, we have up to 12 tables. So I think the really cool aspect is as we kind of get all of these aspects coming in the ecosystem, we can kind of have, a bunch of different communities partnering with Createbase on it. The Education Guild is trying to get involved in onboarding people as well. So it's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I just realized my camera was off. I was
I was
trying
to be all hidden today. I was like, okay, I don't want to force you. I don't want to force you.
Cool. Gosh. All right. Thanks.
Awesome. So I'm going to kick you off the stage now. Thank you so much for coming up.
All right.
Awesome. So if anyone else, I know some people might be popping in for the first time. I don't want to be forcing you to come
Corey
up on
mentioned they want to present.
Okay, Corey, I'm just going to invite you on stage right now. Pop up if you'd like. There you go. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's nice to meet everybody here. It's my first time really getting into a call here with you guys, and I'm kind of new to the Near community overall, and it's really, really awesome to see all the projects people are working on here. So I've got a project I've been thinking about working on, and it's been stemming more. I have a background more in building AI tools and stuff, and it's implementing a bit more of maybe there's very, very cutting edge technology with things that are currently coming out. If anybody's probably familiar with Neuralink.
Personally, is that what the product Facebook's working on, or am I completely off base?
Okay. No, I can explain a little bit. Neuralink is a project that's been put forward by Elon Musk, right? And it's the brain computer interfaces, essentially, where he's creating these surgical implants into people's brains that can then read their, get a much more accurate signal or read of what's happening inside people's brains than currently we have like an EEG reader that would just be placed on the scalp of someone's head. Right, so just currently we'd put like sensors on someone's head and you'd get a very just surface level what's going on. But with this surgical implant, you can get something that's more detailed, right? But that detail doesn't matter as much just in terms of what the interface is and how the data is being collected. But when you get over that problem with most of like working with data tools, the biggest part then is just how you structure and handle the data. And I'm kind of really interested in trying to, and this is something that I've already kind of been looking at a bit, taking medical research that's available and looking at EEG data and trying to structure, libraries of databases of, okay, if someone sees a color, how does that color show up in their brain, or like particular emotion or something, and then trying to have like, essentially just having an AI that can try to predict this in your brain. And, if at any point in the future, I know this is going to be something that's different from everybody. So it would require a lot more data and having, creating an average distance between, say 100 people or 1,000 people and seeing how much there is in variation in people's neural pathways and stuff. It's quite lofty goals for all this, but really, when it comes down to working on blockchain technology, one of the bigger things that I find a risk for this kind of technology is that it currently is like, if you get this implant in your brain, which Elon Musk is working on, it is also enabling you to write to the brain via just electric stimulation. So you could, if you want to stimulate certain pathways and activate your brain in some way, if you're able to say, I know my brain, I don't need to know everybody else's brain, but if I make a personalized device, I could try and stimulate my brain in a way that could enable me to do something, right? Whatever that might be. But this currently, as it is, using Web 2.0 technology, it's very, very, very insecure, right? What's stopping somebody from just accessing this device and then, getting...
Hack your brain?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Right? Yes. Right? Whatever malicious stuff they could be doing with that. And this, perhaps I think one of the best ways that Near might be doing this is, one, it's a lot cheaper to transact on this network than, Ethereum or something. But it just, in terms of trying to build up these layers of, I'm thinking perhaps staging the AI calls. So like at certain calls, it will be like reading your brain and constantly going through this process of trying to write and predict. And I feel like it's going to require having a lot of microtransactions set up to have something like this actually up and operating, which is why I feel like, something like this platform is at least good to start experimenting with and making it, a step forward and more having, I guess, more security behind this technology.
No, it definitely makes sense. Thank you so much for the introduction. I know for me personally, I spent a lot of time around consensus research on the Ethereum side of things. And so coming over to Near and Ring the Night Pay protocol, I was really interested in like how they're using erasure code to try and keep the state reads low as well. And so with that many transactions happening and having chips in your brain, I just think it's super cool as well to be studying how they're doing things. a lot of smart people over there. So
yeah, it's super. I would love to be on those rooms.
Yeah, geez, I watched the YouTube videos, and my brain just has points.
I did have one more question though, maybe more specifically for Carolyn. Could I ask her?
Nate is here. Maybe Carolyn is together.
Yeah, feel free to ask the question out.
Yeah,
and,
or just ask her, put in the chat, and then they'll answer as soon as they can.
Would it be possible to have her on stage?
Have to check if they're
okay.
Yeah, maybe you can.
I'll invite them up on stage now.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me just get ready. The project I've been working on.
Hello.
Yay.
Hello.
Hi. Such a great tool. Such a great call, by the way.
This is pretty
I'm
neat.
impressed.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working out.
All right.
Can I mint ice cream NFTs via my brain?
See, that would be cool. Then maybe I'd get something completed, you know?
Yeah. Also, there you go.
Oh.
I'm Bucket, reporting live to the Create group live. We have a question for Carolyn Wynn. Carolyn, for artists that are working on the Ethereum blockchain, it's had a lot more time to develop, and it proposes a lot more. Just given the state that the Ethereum blockchain has had to develop, for content creators, developers, or collectors that are looking to switch over to the new platform, what kind of incentives do you think you could offer to them?
I think I only want 50% of what is super hard to understand for the bucket.
Okay, we can try this again. So, just to restate my question, given the state of Ethereum and how it has had much more time to develop its platform, what do you think you could? What do you say are the incentives for developers, content creators, or any other collectors to join and work on the new platform?
Oh. Incentives. I have such a hard feedback, by the way. Can you mute yourself? Yeah. Now it's good. So I just repeat what I think the question was. So you asked how we're gonna get all the people who developed and created on Ethereum onto Nia. Correct? That was the question.
Yep.
Cool.
What are the incentives to moving in here?
So basically, Nia is Ethereum 2.0. So it allows us to scale, especially for creators. It's much cheaper to create their stores, and also they can become more creative in their own business models. So for example, they can have a split fee function that if you have a collaboration with someone, you can split the revenue between 2, 3, 4, 5 people, actually, like Sparrow and Lenara, told us about that and got us the idea to do that. That will be awesome. That will be on Nia, and then also royalty, and it's just like a superior blockchain. It really allows people to become creative.
Yeah, what we got into building NFTs for in the first place was not having to pay $300 to deploy your own store. So the goal is to kind of reduce the barrier for anybody to kind of run their own system. And there's a lot of neat things. It's more on the developer side, like Rust. Rust is a fabulous programming language. Just the way we can deploy the contracts on Near is a lot simpler of a process. The human readable account system is quite neat. I'm pretty excited to show how that all works. And it's just really, really fast. Super fast.
I have a question actually for Nate on top of that, because I think a very neat feature that you have is on Mintbase, you deploy your own contract, but also you can add minters to your contract. So you actually can have your mini platform there, right?
Yeah, I mean, on the Ethereum contracts, we really didn't market or push any,
that's a beefy thing. When you deploy a store, there's a lot of stuff going on that we never even got a chance to market because I couldn't really build all the interfacey tools, like adding other minters to your contract where you own the contract, but you can have multiple humans who can come on board and mint their own thing. They're the owners of their own token. And we're doing the exact same thing in Rust on the Rust contracts. So it's just a different system. To me, what really started the process is microtransactions. I want to be able to check people into conferences with fractions of a penny, deploying stores for fractions of a penny. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I think Matt raised their hand a while ago.
Is Matt also raising their
keep
hand?
that in mind. Matt, wizard from Near.
Awesome. So Corey Truman, I muted you, but you can unmute yourself. I'm unable to unmute somebody who's on stage. So if you'd like to unmute, feel free. Sorry.
That's fine. This is a splendid answer, and I, for one, say that I look forward to working on the platform as well.
Awesome. So I am going to kick you off stage now. Thank you so much for coming on and presenting. Really appreciate it. I am going to invite you to stage, Matt. And then Nate and Caro, you could stay on stage, or there you go, or move you from stage as well. Oh, sorry. So, Matt, I think you're, there you go. We can see you now, and you are unmuted, but I think your audio input might be, yeah. Take your time. So thank you for those who are coming in and presenting. We really appreciate it. It does keep things more interesting when it's not just us talking.
Does this work?
It works perfectly.
I see the little green. Every platform needs to have those little green bars that just
it does help a lot.
Wiggle when you talk. Yeah, hi everybody. It's too bad Vanda left because I had some questions, but we'll catch them another time. For those that don't know, I'm working at Near, and in the new year, I'm going to be transitioning to developer relations and helping basically communities like Createbase, projects like Mintbase, anybody really. We don't discriminate, just help all projects and everybody launch their contracts and stuff. So I wanted to ask, because this is like a creative community, I wanted to ask people what they thought we could do better as sort of like the Near collective on helping make it easier to launch projects. And we can sort of scope that down to projects that are kind of typically NFT and marketplace in nature. So it is a broad question, what can we do better? But maybe we can think about like NFTs, marketplaces, and just kind of go from there. If anybody has anything, you can just dump it in the chat. Questions, we can talk about them. Get the graph to build on here. Yeah, I think we'd have to talk to the graph. But we actually have, so speaking about indexers specifically, we have an internal indexer. And if an indexer is like super important to people, we can basically try to find people out in the community who want to run this indexer. It's quite simple, but you do have to run like a Near full node, and you have to run a Postgres database, and as I understand, it could get quite large. Nate's running it on his own. It is a big pain. So yeah, having a third-party solution would be amazing. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to Sparrow's comment. Feel free to follow up with me about stuff like this. I'm on the Near Discord. I'm on the Mintbase Discord. I'm in Paris's Discord. I don't know if anyone from Paris is here. I don't know how to say it properly.
let's move over to Sparrow's comment though. So provide an incubator-like group process where people can have a structured path to launch. Yes, that's really important. So internally, we have Ashley Crawford is working on a portal / kind of CRM. I don't know what to call it. That is a way for us to basically see how projects are doing. But I think her intention is to actually turn this into something where there's going to be like a side of that for projects. So projects will be able to see other projects. They'll be able to see how projects are doing. And also it's supposed to be kind of like an all-in-one place to get all of the education materials and all of the things that you need to know to basically launch stuff on Near. And Lenara, who's on stage, seconded Sparrow's comment. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we are working on, there's a lot of talk internally on the education stuff about turning it into tracks, like actual, so you want to be an NFT project / marketplace on Near, here's what you need to do to be successful. And then that will coincide with the work that Ashley Crawford is doing kind of internally, just so that we can keep tabs on how projects are progressing through these various paths and what sort of level they're at. And then, ideally job boards and connecting developers with bounties and bringing everybody in so that there is really just, there's less, it's less sort of scattered across a bunch of resources, and it's more like in one place, how to sort of be successful on Near. So I hope that helps, Sparrow. We are working on it. And also you can always, reach out. I think Nima mentioned, reach out to him. There's lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff that Nima's working on as well, in terms of the community that is going to be related to this as well. So what's going on now? Are Chloe and Lenera? I don't know.
I think that's just asking
You're
about
with us on the
previous
stage.
footage.
We have a question from How Enter, and he's asking about NFT red packets. Like you have the red package, I guess, app, and to send Near tokens. How about sending other non-fungible tokens?
Yeah, is there a specific question about NFT red packets? Is that intended to send? Do you mean to send non-fungible tokens? I'm a little confused because I know that there's a red packet app to send someone Near.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. He wants he's hoping
Maybe
for a
to
similar
onboard
app
people,
to send someone
instead of only sending
NFTs.
Yeah,
that's
one of the
pretty.
ideas was since for Mintbase it does require a bit of Near and other things to set up your account, potentially having a more setup package of not being just some Near tokens, but also it could be NFTs, it could be things that kind of get someone incentivized to getting onboarded. Maybe I don't know what they call them on Near, the ESG20 events. I don't know if those could be added to red packets as well, as part of the onboarding experience.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't have many answers about that. Near's getting a little bit big, and the red packet people are people that I don't know that work on red packet. So I don't know. I think I may have heard their names mentioned once or twice, but I don't exactly know who's working on red packet. But I would ask the way to get an answer to that question about what's the future of the red packets would be, I think just in the main Near server, you could just even ask it in general, and someone will funnel it to the right channel and get that happening pretty quick. So
let's set up a bounty for that, maybe.
That would be a great bounty. Yeah, awesome. So in terms of NFT specifics, I'm wondering if anybody felt the need to, if they sort of felt the need that either from Near or well, definitely we want to engage the community in this discussion, that we need to work on more standards. And then I also wondered, I have kind of a specific question, and I just want to ask the community, and people can just throw up some emoji, like a unicorn emoji, if they think it's a cool idea. But I'm wondering how important a bridge to Ethereum, or the ability to basically to either move an Ethereum NFT to Near, or the ability to take an NFT that is minted on Near and to move that to Ethereum. I'm wondering if people thought that that's important in terms of like being able to like sell an NFT, minted on Near, sell it on Ethereum. Okay, so some people think it's important. I saw a unicorn from Chloe. There's an emoji button.
Yeah, but I don't think they have unicorns on there. I couldn't find it.
They have reactions. I think that it is important. It's not like a mandatory necessary for doing cool things that are being done already. But that will be really neat actually to have in the future, and figure out how can we use that, and might even like attract people if they know that that is a possibility. Maybe they're already familiar with Ethereum and they're a little bit, okay, another blockchain, I'm getting there, but oh, but you can move things between them. Okay, that's the sell point. I'm there just because of that. So I think it might be a good selling point for bringing people into Near.
Yeah, I think also it kind of depends on the value of the asset that's being minted. So if you have an asset on Near that, say, minted a rare piece of art, it could have a value of $100, but over time, if that value went up, some people might want the extra security of being able to move that asset to whatever blockchain they felt had different security guarantees. So potentially a blockchain like Ethereum, that's been around for a while, might have stronger security guarantees for a certain valued asset. So we're seeing NFTs now sell for like $1 million each. So as those values could potentially go up, as they have other values to them, not just the creator, but they could have DeFi cover, or they could have rare attributes in games. I think certain things like that might incentivize people to be like, okay, I can move this asset from Near to Ethereum, where they're securing a lot of their higher value assets. So kind of how I see it as well.
Yes, Para is bringing an interesting point too about like right now quite a few DAOs are being created around NFTs exactly because they are so valuable. But then there's the governance aspect of DAO, and also the question, about the fees and things like that. So if there is some interoperability between those, then you could have, for example, a DAO on Near that is able to move NFTs that are on Ethereum, and that could be really helpful for specific cases like what she's.
But do you need? I think a lot of times, I think people were talking about the ability to use like a verifier and prover to disconnect your Ethereum account to your Near account, and then just fund that Near account by funding the smart contract on Ethereum. So having a soft bridge like that, would that be solve some of those issues? Just a way to kind of say, okay, we have a DAO on Near, and we do have these apps on Ethereum. We don't actually need to move them back and forth. So I think there's some use cases where you might not have to move the assets, but you can still govern things from a Near DAO and still you sign from one or the other. I think would be kind of cool ideas as well. Maybe not having to actually transfer the assets, or that could come eventually. I don't really know how that works. But just having a soft bridge of just proving that you have ownership, I guess.
I think it's unanimous that we need this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just said I think it's pretty unanimous that this will be really useful.
Yeah, thanks, Chloe, for the ideas, and Lenara. This is awesome. And all the ideas in the chat. Sparrow, thank you so much for kind of showing concerns about what sort of needs to be in place, and also kind of adding to these ideas. This is something that I'm really interested in, extremely kind of passionate about. I know our co-founder Ilya is also putting proposals on It's gov.near.org. Sorry, I'm just typing right now. So around wallets, SDKs, you'll see that there are proposals for interoperability, like what Chloe discussed. So for example, dropping a very small amount, like 0.02 Ethereum into a smart contract on Ethereum, and then having a Near account that is, I'll say, remote controlled by by a MetaMask transaction. So these, and I mean not a transaction, but a meta transaction. So essentially bringing that lightning fast kind of meta transaction Ethereum stuff. If you've ever worked with like Austin Griffiths, like burner wallet back in the day, or even just like really like the feeling, the sensation would be like an XDAI wallet, like just like fast, right? So if you've ever had those like meta transaction kind of fast stuff, like just sign this message kind of experience, we can bring this to Near. We do have EVM support in our beta net. So just to give people like some idea of like where this is at, and we are driving like really, really hard towards this as a destination. Like we will be able to do this. I love the idea of not actually moving the asset, and I like the term soft bridge. So if you don't mind, Chloe, I'm going to steal that.
Definitely steal the term.
Probably see a couple of tweets later today using soft bridge. So I love soft bridge. I've been calling them like hybrid dApps or hybrid apps. But I think soft bridge is kind of like a more like relatable, fun term. And essentially, what it looks like is you just leave the NFT where it is, and then we kind of remote control some Near account. You just show up with MetaMask. You say, I want to do X, Y, Z. Like I want to put this NFT, into this Near app now. And then the Near app has like just a little soft, like again, it's like a soft prover that basically just checks your Ethereum account that's connected to this remote controlled Near account, says, oh yeah, they've got the NFT, it's all good. So then you can enter into some sort of like NFT battle or some sort of thing, like some sort of fun game. And then what ends up happening is that all of those Near transactions that were being signed by MetaMask and relayed onto the Near blockchain become like layer 1 transactions. And then when you go back and you go to like OpenSea or something and you have your NFT for sale, if you can leave a little message or a note, and you can link back to the Near app that had that sort of that game or that maybe you like some meta layer of info, like a battle or something, like an art battle that you won, right? And then you can link back to that app and say, this NFT that exists on Ethereum should be more valuable because it comes with all of this meta information that from these events and like these games that happened on Near. So it's like a meta layer on top. I think someone, Chloe's frozen, I think, or something.
Oh, no, am I frozen?
It's just like a slower connection, I think, that makes you pixelated.
Oh.
So anyway, I'll just kind of stop like talking right now, but I just wanted to let people know that these ideas are so good. They're like really on point. Like co-founder Ilya's been chatting about this for many weeks. I've been trying to hack together ways to sort of soft bridge Ethereum accounts with Near accounts where you can do meaningful things like add on to your NFTs. And then going the other way, I do think that we do, like as Near as a layer 1, we probably do want to get to a point where the NFTs are just, their NFTs are, it's a viable option for people to mint NFTs on.
Oh, yeah.
Near. So
I'm totally for that.
That's cheaper.
No, I think that NFTs on Near, have super huge potential. And people who are right now having NFT, doing NFTs on Ethereum, it will be really important to have like a connection to bring these people, but they can just also stand on their own, as you don't need to transfer them, but it's really good to have this option for many use cases like we were talking now. And maybe Chloe, we can put one of the tables for the kind of NFTs bridge and soft bridge discussion.
Awesome. I will definitely set one of the tables up for that. So I think with that, I'm going to end the session and we can head back to the tables and people can continue discussing whatever they feel like discussing at this point. Awesome.